Hello and welcome to another UFC recap. I'm Tom. I'm with Jamie again. So today we're looking at the UFC 205, which just happened this weekend in Madison Square Garden for the first time since an MMA ban was lifted in the state of New York. First of all, yeah, Jamie, what did you think of it for starters?
It was crazy. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's ridiculous.
probably the best card I've ever seen, to be honest.
I know, 3 title fights, it's crazy, man.
3 title fights. My boy Conor.
Boy Conor. Well, we'll get to Conor in a bit, as everyone does. Let's start first. We had a few prelims, but the main prelim that a lot of people piqued interest was the fact that Khabib Nurmagomedov was on this card. He's been quite elusive the past few years, but he was fighting against a
very tough Michael Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. Usually he has been facing quite average fighters recently. Against a tough top 10 guy, but again, he came out swinging.
Yeah, most definitely. It looked very impressive. Obviously got the win via submission in the third round. Having said that, Johnson looked good on the feet in the early rounds.
That's the thing. I mean, a lot of people said like his grounding game is ridiculous, but
crazy,
if he faces someone who's good at striking, like maybe in McGregor, it could be very different.
Maybe.
But what did you? Yeah,
he looked very good on the ground. I mean, Johnson could do nothing.
Did you see that thing? What was it? During the second round or third round, he was actually speaking to Dana White in between them, saying
no, I did see that.
"Let me fight your baby boy next." Obviously meaning a certain Irishman, but
fight his son, I think.
Yeah, fight his son. That was
crazy.
it. I really like the guy.
To be mid-fight and talking that much shit, I mean, to your boss as well. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
The guy is 24-0, I think. Let's talk about it. Do you think
24-0 now?
After winning, he's 24-0. He's probably the only undefeated fighter with such a decent record. I mean, you've got guys like Cruz, who's 22, around that sort of time. But do you think he is deserving? Do you think he's deserving of the title shot?
He's definitely the real deal. I mean, other contenders, maybe Tony Ferguson. I mean,
beating
was it last week? He just beat Dos Anjos.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was it last week? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a beat last. Yeah.
And I watched that fight, and it was good. I mean, he really did look very loose. I mean, he was even doing a bit of salsa dancing. To be honest. I mean, he was looking very loose, very good with the hands, and he's got submission specialist really as well. So, I mean, I'd say he's don't go too far into the 155-pound division, but he's very complete. I mean, he does look like the real deal as well.
I think anyone who's undefeated, who's number one contender, logically does deserve the next shot, but we'll see. Next on the card was hometown favourite Frankie Edgar fighting, who was one of the many fighters, along with Chris Weidman, who we'll talk about in a bit, who campaigned for the UFC to be to be legalised in New York. So this was a very emotional night for him. Came out on top in the end against Jeremy Stephens. It was a bit of a back and forth contest. Jeremy Stephens got really good one-punch power. Yeah, as he said in that press conference a few months back.
I mean, I think Frankie just wanted to avenge that loss to Jose. I mean, it was a close. It was a unanimous decision for Jose. I think he really did put Frankie on the ropes.
He landed. If you look at it all together, he landed 5 takedowns in comparison to Jeremy Stephens' 0, which on the face of it,
Frankie's an elite wrestler. I mean, look at the guys he's training with, Eddie Alvarez. I mean, even with Mark Henry now. So. Yeah,
they've got very good strikers in that gym at the moment, which is pretty cool. I mean, again, even with his good wrestling back, he still outboxed Jeremy Stephens, landing 56% of his punches in comparison to Stephens' 26.
I mean, that's really surprising. I mean, Frankie's always been known for his wrestling, but I mean, that's a good stand-up for him.
I think again, though, that's talking about the fact that it's going to be in New York City. He wants to put on a show for the fans, and he's going to come out swinging just because they want to see that knockout.
Yeah,
they
want to see the crowd,
exactly. Yeah. So. I mean, we've got, we don't know what's happening with the 45-pound division at the moment. We've got Holloway Pettis fighting UFC 206 next month. That might create a bit more, they might shed some more light on what's going to happen next. But what do you think next for Frankie Edgar? I mean, he fought for the interim, he lost. Do you think he...
I mean, he fought Jose twice now?
Fought them twice, lost,
and lost both. I mean... I'll be honest, it all depends on Conor, what he does.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Frankie Edgar, he's a bit of a workhorse, he's been around for a while. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight some young guns like maybe a Yair Rodriguez or you've got a lot more young featherweights like, I think Almeida's a bantamweight. But I think having an experience like that kind of adds legitimacy to it, but I wouldn't mind seeing him fighting some young guys coming up as well.
And even I've heard that maybe Dominic Cruz wants to move up to 145.
I think we all want to see that. If we've got UFC 207 end of the year, if he beats Garbrandt, I wouldn't mind seeing him move up to 45 just because.
Crazy. I mean, he can go from either I mean, I think he can move up to lightweight. Possibly. Yeah. I mean, maybe a bit small, but
got the height for it. Anyway, so now we move on to the main card, which we had former bantamweight champion Miesha Tate, first fight since she lost the belt to Amanda Nunes at 200 against Raquel Pennington. This is quite interesting because it was the Ultimate Fighter, wasn't it? Because Raquel Pennington was Tate's fight, which you don't really see, which is there's a bit of a coach, master, apprentice sort of story to this fight.
And the apprentice got the W.
The apprentice got the W, which I think a lot of people weren't expecting. I think purely because of Misha's name. She's obviously a very famous fighter.
Draw. I
mean, exactly.
Previous champion. I mean, what she did to Holly Holm.
But I think
what Holly Holm did to Ronda Rousey.
Well, we'll see that again soon. But I think with what we saw from Misha was the exact same thing we saw with her at 200. Is that she said she retired. I think her excitement over the fighting has kind of boiled down a bit.
Yeah, I would say so.
She wasn't looking like herself in terms of the amount of takedowns. As you see, she only got 1 out of 5 takedowns. She's known for her wrestling. She's an absolutely phenomenal grappler on the floor.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, I mean, look at Pennington as well. 3 submission attempts. I mean,
and double the total strikes as well. I mean, she just controlled the fight from start to finish. It's crazy. I don't know what is next for that division.
Well, I mean, you've got that whole division. Like the past year, it's just been playing hot potato, hasn't it? With the belt.
Exactly.
So, I mean, what happens with Rousey and Nunes after that? I mean, you've got Shevchenko who just beat Holly Holm. You've got Pena who she won at 200. I think it was against Lima possibly. But again, those two are looking phenomenal. And after that, possibly, I mean, the Cyborg goes down, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about Cyborg, to be honest. I mean, she's a big girl. I mean,
but what do you think about Misha? What do you think she can do next after fighting? Like, do you see? Because there's been talk about her maybe working for Fox. I mean, it'd be great, I think.
As a pundit?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, you've only really got like. Did you know about that? No. Yeah, I heard it with Matt Serra. The Unfiltered podcast, they were talking about it, saying how she's, and I think she's a very good analyst of MMA, and it would also be good as well to have a woman pundit for the female division in the UFC.
I mean, she's a well-known face. I mean, people know her.
Exactly, yeah. And you see, I saw her. She gave an interview a few days after this event, and talking about just the technical side of MMA. And she's very, very, very intelligent. So I wouldn't mind seeing her being in front of the camera.
No, most definitely.
So next we had, in the middleweight division, it was Chris Weidman versus Yoel Romero.
Yes.
This one, we've sort of got, since Michael Bisping beat Dan Henderson at UFC 204 last month, we've sort of got we had a little mini tournament for the next number one contender. Unfortunately, Jacare Souza and former champion Luke Rockhold got injured.
Yeah, that fight was called.
Yeah, which would have been very good to see.
I was really looking forward to that fight.
Me too.
Luke won the first bout.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I think.
And coming for loss would have been good to see where Rockhold and Jacare won at UFC 198 against, I think it was Vitor Belfort.
Vitor Belfort?
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, this one in particular, I mean, so basically with that fight discounted, it was Weidman Romero winner will fight Michael Bisping next. So there's a lot on the line in this one.
And Romero did it in, well, you could say emphatic. It was a hell of a knockout. Let's be honest. But Chris Weidman did look good in the first opening exchanges.
Yeah, I mean the first round. If you take a look back at it in terms of if you go back to his stats, there wasn't
pretty slow rounds.
Pretty slow round. I mean there was only 9 strikes, but
if
you look at the significant strikes in comparison to Romero, he landed 7 compared to Romero's 3, and as you said, the 1 takedown.
That's a 10-9 round.
But in this one, then you had Romero being a former Olympian gold medalist. His wrestling really came into it, and you saw why he is one of the best fighters you have in the UFC. And then, as you said, the knockout, that was just, I don't know.
Out of nowhere. I mean, literally out of nowhere.
It was like 25 seconds into round number 3. There was a bit of technique, because obviously when you fly your knee into an opponent's head, there is essence of technique into it. But the fact that one was going down to the ground for the takedown, it did look a bit improvised.
It was just disguised very well.
Absolutely.
Nobody saw it coming, I mean.
Even Joe Rogan was like, he's knocked out, stop the fight. And Mario Masaki, the referee, he was quite hesitant to cut. It was a very strange knockout. I don't think many of us have seen it before.
Weidman's face was gushing with blood.
Yeah,
I mean, that was brutal from Romero. But you have to question Romero. I still have doubts about him regarding, his previous steroid use. I don't know if it was steroids, but some sort of substance abuse. I mean, people like Michael Bisping, and Chris Weidman have both said that people that take steroids shouldn't even be in the sport anymore.
Course, should be. Bisping, when he retained in Manchester, he immediately was calling out all 4 of his guys, and the thing he said about Romero was, "You just got back off steroids, you juiced up."
Expletive.
Yeah. So it's hard to really say if it's going to be. It's hard to say if what he did that night was legitimate. I always like to stay on face value that what he did as an athlete, regardless if the technique is still very, very good, which you don't do even if you are juiced up.
there's great examples of that. I mean, look at John Jones. I mean,
Exactly. He's got
Crazy athlete.
a submission grappling against Dan Henderson, so it should be pretty good. But anyway,
Oh wow.
Yeah, John Jones is a discussion for another day, I think.
Yes, yes.
But what about Weidman? Because in fact, this is his first fight in just over a year. Because after he lost the belt to Luke Rockhold,
he's lost 2 in a row now.
He lost 2 in a row, and he was similar in the situation to Frankie Edgar, but he couldn't get it done in terms of being one of those guys to campaign for the MMA to be legalised in his home state. So again, this is such an emotional night for him.
I mean, he's still a top contender. He's still
he'll be back. I've no doubt on Weidman. So then one of the things that made UFC 205 so special was we had 3 title fights.
Yes.
On this night, and the first was an all Polish dispute
Polish
between.
ladies rule the world.
Yeah, we'll try not to butcher names. We had Joanna
Kovalkiewicz,
Jędrzejczyk, and then Karolina Kovalkiewicz. So we already got it wrong.
Names mixed up. Jędrzejczyk, yes.
I mean, Joanna's been champion for nearly 2 years now, or around 2 years, and
dominant champion.
You look at Demetrius Johnson, she's echoing him in terms of how dominant she's being. She's beating Carla Esparza, she's beating Claudia Gadelha. So this opponent next up was really, there's starting to be a sort of godlike presence to her. But this fight was interesting because you had both Polish people, so they know each other very well. They fought an amateur level in the past, but again...
And these are considered the best 2.
Oh, easily, yeah. Both undefeated, definitely, yeah.
I mean, Polish fans have been saying these really are the 2 big deals. Karolina's very known in Poland, and obviously Joanna,
she's the
champion.
She's the champion, man. But if you look at, again, the way in which, I always say ever since she did it against Claudia Gadelha, like the combination she does, she seems to do like 6 punches in a second and 2 kicks somehow.
She's crazy fast.
It's ridiculous. And
I mean, she's got that Muay Thai style as well, which I think
But if you look at it as well, she landed 181 total strike, and 171 of them were significant, meaning she landed pretty much everything she threw.
Yes. I mean, that's crazy.
And even landing a takedown, which, I mean, she's not known for her takedowns, but the fact that she was able to land one, because, Caroline went for 1, didn't get it. So 100% takedown, I know it's only 1, but again, it's showing diversity in the game, and it showed that she wants to move, because she moved, despite the fact she's champion, and she's the best in that division, she moved to American top team recently. To improve, really? Yeah. She moved, so you got her and Amanda Nunes, both women champs under the same roof.
Wow.
Yeah, do you not know that?
No.
Yeah, this is her first fight under her new management. And again, so even as a champion, she's still trying to improve, which I think is something you don't see from a lot of champions. That's why I think this year we've seen a lot of title changes.
I mean, on paper, that fight looks completely dominant. In reality, I mean, Karolina pushed it till the end.
If you look at the 5th round, again, I mean, that amount of strikes doesn't tell the full story, because Karolina landed a few. I mean, if you look at Joanna's face after that fight, I've never seen it look that beat up.
No way.
So it does show the amount of... But do you think it should be a rematch?
The toughest fight.
Definitely the toughest fight. I mean, against Gadelha, the first 2 rounds, she was taken to ground quite a lot. I mean, if it stayed like that, Gadelha was just gassed out after a while.
Yeah,
but
no. That was...
What do you see next for Joanna? Do you think you can maybe get Rose Namajunas? I mean, the top 3 contenders, she's all beat. Do you like the idea? Yeah, do you think...
As you said, it's a similar situation to DJ in how many rematches is she actually going to do? I mean, she's beaten pretty much everyone in the division now. Karolina could possibly get a rematch. It's certainly a fight that has interest. Just in the fight that, just in the sense that there's a bit of...
I think, to be honest, we should recognise the achievement of what Joanna's done at the moment, and she deserves a break, because she's fought 3 times. Defended about 3 times in the last year against Letourneau, Gadelha, and now Kovacevic. So I think she does a break. You've got a lot of good people coming up in the system. You've got Rose Namajunas, who... I guess she lost to Karolina, but she's very good. She's like 24, so there's so much to come. And Paige Van Zandt, who obviously everyone's in love with at the moment. She's fighting December 17th, I think, against Waterson, so that's a very interesting fight. Jessica Andrade, she moved down from bantamweight, which is a 20-pound drop, but she looks so good. One for day, I'm really interested. Maybe she can fight Namajunas next. And also, I'm going to get her first name wrong here, but Grosso, a new girl just came in. A lot of excitement around her. So there are a lot of good people.
I mean, there are people moving up, but
I don't see Joanna.
Realistically, I don't see Joanna.
No, neither
Joanna moving from a...
I wouldn't mind the idea. The thing is, I don't know how this could work, because I don't think there's many as in comparison to the flyweight. But what we did with the Ultimate Fighter recently, we have getting 16 champions from 16 different promotions.
Yes.
Maybe not champions, but 16 strawweight fighters in a tournament to fight Joanna. I mean, they had a strawweight division recently in the Ultimate Fighter series, which she was a coach for, and she looked head and toes above all that talent there. But again, a lot of options with her with such a dominant champion.
It's interesting to see what's going to happen with her. I honestly, I'm clueless when it comes to what's going to happen.
So that was the first title fight. The next title fight, which was awarded Fight of the Night and quite rightly so, was
hell of a fight.
Tyron Woodley against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Which, to be honest, after the way he beat Robbie Lawler for the belt, Tyron Woodley, and it was just one punch, I haven't seen that much from him.
Hit him with the T-bomb, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was very hesitant, and I wasn't really. I was expecting him, because Stephen Thompson's game is not just kicks; it's punches. He does great takedowns as well.
It's very conflicting styles. I mean, Wonderboy's obviously very good karate. Got those long legs. Very good at kicking. Also good on the feet as well.
But you heard, but it's before after Stephen Thompson beat Roy McDonald in the summer. It was a week or so before the 201 showdown between Woodley and Lawler, and he said, "I want to fight Robbie Lawler," which I think.
I mean, Robbie was the champion.
He was the champion, yeah.
And it didn't look like anybody was going to beat him. I mean, Rory's had a couple scuffs with him and went the distance. I mean, remember that 5-round battering?
Yeah, was it 194?
Crazy.
194, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
But
this was insane. You had that moment when he actually took down. He tagged Thompson a couple of times and actually got him down to the ground, which it was very reminiscent of that Lawler knockout, which I really thought that was going to be it. Those two submissions, how he got out of that guillotine.
Oh, crazy.
That was insane.
I mean, I think Wonderboy's made of rubber. Seriously. I mean,
well, he's a very odd-looking bloke. He's quite gangly for a 170-pound fight. He's not as stocky as Tyron. Yeah. One of the things Woodley said after the fight was that reason why
he has a small head.
He has a small head, which if you look at it, he really does.
I mean, in proportion to his body. I mean, no, it's crazy.
But I think we had a bit of confusion towards the end of the fight because Bruce Buffer said it was a winner by split decision. Because due to the fact that he won,
I mean the scorecards were crazy.
It was two draws and Woodley won the other one, but that's a draw. So, do you think this should be the next fight?
100%. I mean, arguably could have give it to Wonderboy. I mean, you saw Woody's face when they overturned the decision. I think he was thinking, oh shit. I mean, have they given it to Wonderboy? I mean, potentially they could have. I still think that Woodley won the fight.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of respect after Woodley after this fight as well. I said it to people the other day because I wasn't expecting much of him, but he was incredible, and he wants to be this well-known, maybe the greatest welterweight champion of all time. If he does that, like GSP, you can go away because this guy.
If he beats Wonderboy, I mean, if he beats, I think he won that fight. I'll be honest. If he beats him officially. When they rematch, because I think they definitely will do. I mean, that cementum is really.
But I mean, the welterweight division is really, really good at the moment because you've got fighters like Demi Maia just beat Carlos Condit really convincingly. He's barely anyone's landing a punch at him. You've got Robbie Lawler still to come back. He was originally supposed to fight Donald Cerrone at this card. Poor Donald Cerrone again. He missed out on Kelvin Gastelum, which
isn't that surprising.
No, but I mean, you've got people like Cowboy Cerrone who moved into welterweight.
And he's
looking so good. He doesn't have to cut weight. He didn't get to fight this card. There's rumours he might be fighting UFC 206, but we'll see. That'd be pretty good. So yeah, regardless of if it's a rematch between Woodley and Thompson, you've got Damian Maia.
I would like to see Damian Maia. He's a high-level grappler. I mean, his jiu-jitsu is on another level.
Exactly. So we've got a lot of interesting fights if this rematch happens or if it doesn't.
I mean, that's a very conflicting style. If you look, if Woodley beats Thompson, which I'm not saying. I mean, it could go either way. A wrestler versus a high-level jiu-jitsu guy in Damian Maia.
Yeah, someone who barely throws any punches.
Interesting.
I don't think when he against Condit, he didn't get hit once. So it'd be very interesting. So after all these incredible fights, it did come to the main event between Eddie Alvarez, who was at the time the lightweight champion, and Conor McGregor chasing history to become...
the antics. All the antics that Conor's been doing.
Yeah, to become the first fighter to hold two belts in the same weight division at the same time. Thank you, because also we had people like Pest in the background. Anyway,
crazy fight.
I mean, I was very apprehensive about this one. I think the way in which it was publicised was how strong Alvarez's wrestling was. But
they just say he's a grinder. I mean, he gets you in the clinch.
That's the thing McGregor does, though. He gets in your head, and you want to stand and trade. That's why Aldo got knocked out in 13 seconds. The only person who didn't that's the only person who didn't get invested was Nate, and that was we still hold that one.
You can get inside Nate's head.
Exactly, but Alvarez, you can get inside his head, and it showed. I mean, he went for 3 takedowns. McGregor blocked them all. 40%, 40 strikes landed, 32 are significant, and those combinations landed at the beginning and in the second. Alvarez looked stunned. You see in the first round when he hit him, he was like, shaking his head like in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, is that really just hit me?
I bet he dropped him at least 3 times in was it the first round or even the second?
He dropped
round?
him twice in the first and twice in the second, and obviously the second was because Alvarez was starting to get a little bit into it, but again McGregor just came swinging and just.
I don't know how he's got. I mean, it's not significant. I mean, he's not really overloading on shots either. I mean, it's even little jabs. It's crazy.
It's like left hand. It just comes out like a little pocket, like bam.
The amount of power you can produce in just a little flick of the wrist is it's very strange. It's crazy. But a hell of
I was very happy with the result because I think he's doing something very special. He's a once in a generation athlete, which is the UFC has become a lot bigger in the past year, and it's not all thanks to him because it's a very, very interesting sport, and it's.
I mean, he's the big
all these
dog.
different styles, but he is the big dog. He's the Mike Tyson of this generation.
He's the big dog. But something interesting that Chael Sonnen said. He said before this fight, if Conor wins and he gets 2 belts at the same time, it's going to be the greatest of all time.
You think so?
Which is that's what Chael Sonnen said. Which is interesting. I mean, to knock out.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hold I mean, I think there's arguments. The reason why he got this belt is it's sort of an insult to the rankings when you've got people like Khabib and
people say that he did jump the queue.
He jumped the queue. Well, he's never fought in light in the UFC. And he went straight to a title shot.
I mean, he beat the number 5 guy, which is Nate Diaz.
He did.
That was a
welterweight. But you've also got the argument where the fact that he's getting this shot, it adds more excitement to more divisions.
100%.
That's why the bantamweight division is a lot more exciting now. Not after Rousey's loss, obviously it was explosive then, but it's even bigger now because it just adds more stars. People are now going to know who Eddie Alvarez is. People are now going to start thinking who Khabib Nurmagomedov is, who Tony Ferguson is. People just need Jersey Aldo a little bit. The people he fights, it makes them famous. He said that in the past, and it really does.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So all the antics that have just gone on.
The throwing of the chairs, all that rubbish.
The Gucci mink, all of that.
I'm a pimp.
It doesn't matter about all that stuff. He sells the fights, he turns up, and he beats them.
Yeah, and afterwards the fight, he's completely respectful.
Oh, I mean, it may seem like a complete.
He's respectful to his opponents. He didn't say a single bad thing about Eddie. He didn't say a single bad thing about Nate after his second fight.
To be honest,
Nothing bad about
I think
Jose.
Eddie was talking more.
Absolutely, yeah.
And maybe that was to get inside of Conor's head a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're coming up against a guy like Conor with all the media stuff, all the pressure, all the look at his fan base.
It's alien to a lot of. He's used to it now, but this amount of interest in you as a person, he's the challenger to McGregor. It's completely new. Obviously, they've fought on this stage in terms of fighting the Octagon before, but fighting in front of millions.
I mean, he's fought for the title, but not at this.
Even people just tweeting you saying, "Oh, you ain't gonna do shit."
Yeah.
He's never really had this before in that scale, and it can get to you, even if people say it won't. But what do you think?
It's a mental game. I mean, your body does the work, but your mind is in control. So
what do you think's next for Conor? 2 belts. Does he fight in both divisions? Does he fight in one or the other? What do you think?
I would
Mayweather?
say. I think the 145-pound division. I'm not sure if he can make that. I mean, he can make the cut, but I don't know if it's good for him.
No, I don't think it's good for him. To be honest.
I mean,
I'd rather see him.
You see him at the weigh-ins. He looks like a skeleton.
I said to you on the night when we saw it, but I think he looks so healthy at 155.
I mean, we've only seen one fight, but damn, he looked good.
Yeah, because 170 he struggled to make. He was only 169.5, 169 in the first fight.
Yeah,
and he looks so stocky. He has to eat a lot. It's not a
cardio is worse.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. 145, he just looks so malnourished, and he doesn't look like he's.
It's his natural weight. I mean, he was 155 pound champion in Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
Also 145, but still.
And he looks like the bigger guy against Alvarez, despite the fact he made a supposed 10 weight jump. He looked the bigger guy against Alvarez. I mean, he has got that 5-inch reach advantage, but he looked much better. So I think, stay at lightweight, and hopefully, this is purely speaking from a fanboy perspective, I do like to see him fight Khabib, because I just think that would be such an interesting style. You've got the possibility.
I think Tony Ferguson is. I know I'm upsetting you, but because I know Khabib's your boy, but I think Tony Ferguson deserves that fight with Khabib first. If Conor's going to take a break, maybe have that for the interim title.
Well, he's going to be a daddy soon, so he's going to take a break.
He's going to be a daddy. That's one of the big announcements.
Which everyone was expecting to be Mayweather. Oh my God, I'm going
to
fight Woodley for the welterweight.
Another potential. Fight
I'm ignoring that. Dana says it's a load of rubbish. I'm going to until he says otherwise. I'm just going to take it as value. It's not going to happen. I don't want it to happen.
But another announcement he made was, he's claiming he's the $4 billion man. He's made all this money for the company. Dana, where's my cut? Where's my slice of the pie? I mean, do you think he has a right to say that?
He has a right to say it, but
does get.
I mean, since the UFC's new owners, I believe in Taylor Swift is an owner of the UFC just purely because of how the people who represent her. So
yeah,
he has a stake claim more than most people who own the UFC, definitely. But
I mean, he's the face of the sport.
he gets a cut. He doesn't need to own it. He can literally just say now.
I mean, he makes more money than anyone in any other fighter. I mean, you have to look at it that way. But in terms of the popularity of MMA recently,
it's
because of him.
Yeah, but again, he is the biggest spoke on the wheel. But that was going to keep turning even if he's not there. You saw it happen at UFC 200, where he stepped out. I mean, that pay-per-view was an absolute train wreck in terms of one main event getting cancelled after the other. But in the end, it still went down without him, and it didn't do as good numbers.
Yeah,
they're still going to be okay.
I
think in terms of more personally speaking, who I want to fight, United's Khabib. Dana keeps talking about having it in Moscow. I think a title fight in Moscow between Khabib and Conor is something out of a movie. I think it's been a movie. It's called Rocky.
I was going to say, it is a bit of a Rocky.
And I think that is the next legit fight. Whether Conor takes a different question because or we get that third trilogy fight between him and Nate for the belt, which again would be very good.
I'm not sure I want to see that, to be honest. I mean, I did like watching those fights. It was very interesting. First fight, overloaded his shots, completely blew his gas tank.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate's a crazy cardio guy. Him and Nick, I mean, their cardio is ridiculous. I mean, they do triathlons. I know Nick Diaz actually swims from Alcatraz with the frickin' sharks.
Yeah.
I mean, how crazy is that? Crazy guys. I mean, probably the toughest guys in the UFC, I'd say. Just in terms of durability. I think that's the main reason Conor lost was Nate is so durable. He can take so much abuse, and he can still come at you. I mean, he's just a warrior.
Yeah. So I think after all this happened, I think when it was announced that it was going to be a fight night in New York, everyone was expecting it to be big. It managed to go on, and man, did it deliver. You had 3 title fights, number 1 contender bouts, a pissed off Russian dude, and everything you wanted. So yeah,
it's crazy.
I think that'll be it for today from UFC Recap. I'm Tom.
Thanks for joining us. Yep.
That's Jamie. All right, we'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just press stop there.